Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham HaKadosh. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the lecture be upon your households. Khan Shalom. So there's of course a lot going on right now in this world, okay? A lot of wickedness is going on, and we know and we can see and we can feel that we are closing in onto the end, okay? We are going to some struggles right now, and sometimes it feels like it's too much, you know? Sometimes it feels like it's above your limit. But what does the Most High say? He will never give you anything that is above your limit. So even though there will be a lot of trials and tribulations coming also, it will never be above your limit, okay, if you keep following Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Okay, so let's read 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men. Wait, let me read this in a Blue Letter Bible so that you can also read the NLT version with it. So 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13. There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So the NLT, the temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. You see? So you go to certain things, you gotta go to your job, you might be late for your job, you might have problems at the job, you might have problems on the road, you might be stuck in traffic, you know, you might bump your little toe, who knows, man. You know, these are things that happen to other people also. And Yahweh is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. Okay, when you are tempted, he will show you a way out so that you can endure. So when you are being tested, he will give you a way so that you can endure it. You know, he will always show you a door, even though you cannot see the way out yet. It doesn't mean that the way out is not there. Okay? So, let me see, the word bear to bear in the Greek says hypopero in the outline of biblical usage. It says to bear by being under, bear up, a thing placed on one's shoulders, to bear patiently, to endure, okay? It says here in the Strong's definitions, to bear, to undergo hardship, okay? Bear, endure. And that's what we are going through. But remember, man, you won't get anything that is above your limit, okay? You can be sure of that, okay? Now, let me see. Grace, as you also learned. Also, since that you did not see spirit inside, that you may be filled with the knowledge, worthy, being fruitful in every good work, strengthened with all might. No, not here. Hope is laid if we have heard before since we heard of your faith. Let me see. To the saints and faithful brethren in Yahushua, closely grace be to you and peace. There was one of the scriptures where it said that it's good, you know, to visit each other, to visit brethren also, but let me see. No, I cannot find it. Anyway, let's go to the book of Peter's. Where is it? 1 Peter 3 and 9, if I'm correct, or 4 and 9, where it says, you know, that we go to similar afflictions as our brethren. Okay, so it's 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant. So we gotta stay alert. Because your adversary, the devil, okay, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. They want to come into and destroy us, you know, mess us up with everything that they have. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So our brethren that are in this world, that are in this truth, are suffering similar afflictions, okay? So you are not alone. Sometimes it might feel that you are the only one going through something, or like you're the only one going through the situation that you're in. You know, you might have a fight with your household. You might break up with your woman after years of being together. You might have a child that, you know, is all of a sudden acting disobedient. You might have had a job for years, and they might, fire you. You know, you might have a house. They might take away your house. You know, you might, well, name it, man. There could be so much things going on that you start wondering, like, is the Most High really dealing with me? You know, is this normal that this happens? You know, am I the only one that this is happening to? Okay, but understand that everybody goes through situations that are similar. Okay, not literally the literal situation that you are in, but something similar that is also, has also to do with his limit, for example. You know, like if your limit is 50, another brother, his limit is 70, you might have 49 and he might have 49, but for you it's closer to your limit than for him. For him, when he gets 67, 68, that is closer to his limit. So if you were to get his portion, you might not be able to stay, stay in this truth, and have faith, because it would be too much. Like we just read, man, in 1 Corinthians 10:13. So the Most High will never give you anything that is too much. So never think that other brothers are not suffering the same or similar afflictions that you are going through. That's why it's also good to be together and to talk with brothers, because they can advise you in situations that you are in. For example, all the brothers in this truth, they might already have gone through the situation that you're in, with your family, with your job, whatever, man. So they can advise you through the scriptures how to behave yourself and what decisions to make, So again, 1 Peter 5, verse 9 in the NLT. Stand firm against him, against the devil, Esau, and be strong in your faith. Remember that your Christian brothers and sisters all over the world are going through the same kind of suffering you are. Okay, so we are not alone when we are going to suffer. Okay, and if our master suffered, Yahweh Shai, how much more should we suffer? Okay, our master Yahweh Shai, our Lord, is the Son of the Most High, and even he had to suffer. So what do you think is going to happen to us, his servants? You think we're going to get something else? No, man, we got to walk in his truth, in the footsteps of Yahweh Shai. So, there's no other way, man, than to go through trials, tribulations to enter into the kingdom. Doesn't mean that it's only going to be negativity all the time in your life. We are actually blessed, we are blessed because we have this truth, but we are also receiving blessings left and right, financially, physically. You might have a hard time finding a job, and then all of a sudden there's been some money put on your bank account. Let's say 400 euros that you got from back from the insurance or something. So the Most always gives you like small presents or blessings, even though you are going through so-called hell. But anyway, let me go here. Let me see, Acts 14:22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. So we gotta go through some shit. We gotta go through some hard times to enter into the kingdom. Ain't nobody's gonna make it, like nothing happened. Like it's the easiest thing ever. We got to go through certain things, but it doesn't mean, like I said, that it's only going to be negative, and that you yourself also got to be negative the whole time, pessimistic, not doing anything with your life, not training, not taking care of your health, not how do you say that? Not reading anything else but news articles and things that are making, you know, your mind like only the whole time in like a bad modus, so to say, man. Okay, like it's okay to enjoy your time a bit. It's okay to enjoy your money a bit, you know, like the scripture says, man, in Ecclesiastes, labor, son. Okay, Ecclesiastes 5:18. It says, "Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labor that he taketh under the sun." What is that? The actual work that you are doing on this planet Earth. You know, if you are working as a mechanic, for example, you make some money, working 5-6 days a week, hard, you know, tired, you might as well, you know, treat yourself to a nice restaurant, or maybe a hotel, you know. It says, all the days of his life, which Yahweh giveth him, you see, for it is his portion. Okay, so don't let people tell you that, yeah, you cannot do anything. You know, you got to stay at home the whole day, only watch news articles, you know, binge watch the whole day. That is how you're going to get yourself messed up, man. You know, you're putting a yoke, you're putting chains around yourself. Okay, this truth is not a race, it's a marathon. So you got to be able to endure to the end, right? To the finish. Make sure you don't gas out. Okay? So so anyway, Howard Assad was edifying. Just wanted to speak on a few things. And with that, I want to give all praises and highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham HaKakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and sincerity. And shalom, salakia to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. God shalom.